Hey hackers, welcome to episode 10 of The Commit. That's right, we made it to double digits. I'm Richard.
I'm Neil.
Neil, what are we going to talk about today?
As usual, we're going to talk about our favorite staff picks this week. They're both from MHacks. But before that, we want to talk a little bit about the Ahmed Mohammed story. For those of you who are unfamiliar, Ahmed Mohammed is a high school student in Texas. He made a really cool homemade clock, just experimenting at home. He was proud of it, brought it to school to show some of his teachers. They didn't react particularly well. They thought it was a little suspect, and long story short, they kind of thought it was a bomb. They called the police. They sent him to juvie. It was kind of bad. Fortunately, they dropped all the charges, and things are looking okay for the kid. But it's still kind of a crap situation.
Totally, and I think the important thing for us all to remember as we talk about this, I mean, this is a show about hackathons and hackers, but this story didn't start as a story about hackathons. This is a story about something else that exists, and I think we all know what that is, but this isn't really the right forum to discuss that. What I am really pleased to talk about is the way that the community has responded. So whether you look from all the posts online, people trying to support him and really kind of help him and keep hacking, through to people like President Obama inviting him to kind of bring his hack to the White House.
Or Mark Zuckerberg.
Exactly, and Mark Zuckerberg as well. You know, the guy who authored The Way of the Hacker. And I think these kind of things are really cool. So to me, it's a great story of our community stepping forward and saying like, hey, come on, this is awesome. Like, we need to support this kid. But you know, it makes me think as well, Neil, like about who is a hacker and like what do we define a hacker as being?
Well, if you refer to the jargon file, which I'm sure you're all familiar with, hacking can be characterized as an appropriate application of ingenuity. So whether that's, you know, you using WD-40 to get a door hinge unstuck, you know, something quick and dirty, or you spending a lot of time on working on a really cool machine language protocol or a really cool computer vision app, you know, they're all hacks. They're all you expressing your creativity and sort of showing what you're capable of. And I think that really applies to the community that we're in.
Yeah, totally. I really buy that description. I mean, for me, hacking is all about learning, and it's about exploring and this sense of, you know, I'm going to try this and maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and see what happens. But I also think that this idea that's kind of permeated in popular culture, and you know, we all know the shows that are kind of responsible for this, that, you know, hackers are these kind of like strange kids that don't have any empathy. Like, that's such nonsense, right? And we really need to get past this as a culture.
I think hackers have plenty of social skills, and you mentioned empathy.
Yeah.
I think they have empathy in droves.
Like, how can you build communications products and the amazing things that we see if you don't have empathy? I mean, building products is all about empathy.
Right. It's about empathy. It's about experiences, and if communication is, you know, the killer app of the internet age.
Like, communication is like the key fundamental of pretty much every major technological advancement, whether it's a methodology for communication or an underlying protocol. I think it's all about communication. So definitely that's something I think as a culture we're going to have to work on in terms of, you know, educating people that aren't so familiar with who we are and what we do in terms of like what hacking is and who hackers are.
And if you see someone that's unfamiliar, or maybe you show them something you've built and they say, oh, I don't really get the commercial viability of this, or why would you do this? This has such potential for abuse. Maybe it does, but you can explain to them the good part of it and how much good it could do, and maybe focus on that. Focus on the positive.
Totally. So our message for Ahmed, keep hacking, we're with you. Everyone else, keep hacking too. Neil, let's do staff picks.
Let's do it.
Okay, Neil, what's your pick?
Great. So this week I picked BaymaxBuddies, which was built by Zyla and Harshita at MHacks 6. What these two girls did was they built a pair of internet-connected teddy bears. It's a really, really super cute hack.
This is probably the cutest hack I've ever seen.
Absolutely. So basically, they created their own flex sensors and wired them to an Arduino and then placed them on the teddy bears. And anytime you squeeze it really hard, it registers a high voltage. And based on that, it triggers an alert on the connected other teddy bear to vibrate. And so if you were a parent and you were on the road a lot and you travel, I think this could be a really great way to sort of maintain that physical connection with your kid.
Oh, that's really fun. That's so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a really cool demo video. I hope you check it out. And read through the whole page. There is a great write-up on it that covers the entire way they built it. So definitely check it out. Richard,
Awesome.
what did you have this week?
Well, one of my favorite things to do is watch bad TV shows and watch people reacting to them on Twitter.
Sounds good.
I find that so much fun. So my staff pick is TVTalk, also from MHacks, from Joseph, Alan, Srini, and Stephanie. And this basically puts an IRC level on your DirecTV set-top box. So as you're watching the show, and you can see it here in the screenshots, you can actually see the DirecTV, the IRC chat on top of DirecTV. So really cool way. I love the fact that it's just HTML5 and JavaScript, integrates the DirecTV APIs, and just gives you that kind of single screen experience of having the chat overlaid. Really fun idea, great proof of concept.
Cool. All right, guys, that's all we have for you this week. But Richard's going to be at TechCrunch in San Francisco next weekend, and we'll be at Hack NY the week after that. So we really hope you'll come out.
Cool. Happy hacking.